What's going on, everyone? This is Token Gaijin here with your scrub play of the day here on Scrubcraft. I'm going to be bringing you a 3v3 with my boy Deathwraith and also my boy Stashburnside. Now, Stash has just returned to StarCraft after a long hiatus of playing. We had a couple 2v2s. I looked them over. I was going to throw them up on the web, but the teams we were playing weren't very good. It wasn't that we played horribly. I mean, I didn't play very well in those games. But the teams we were playing weren't very good, so I decided not to throw up the 2v2. So we're going to be bringing you a 3v3. And I rolled random, and Stash is a Zerg player, so he's going to be predominantly Zerg. And we got Token Gaijin as his usual Protoss, and I just rolled Protoss. And we're against a triple Protoss threat. So on this map, this is actually, I don't remember the name of this map, but this is a really nice map. Kind of sucks being on this base because you have two entryways to worry about, but I have Protoss, so I didn't see the secondary ramp. But I was just building a pylon at the entrance just to see if maybe a probe tried to sneak in for a cannon rush or some bullshit like that. I should have checked to see if I had a secondary ramp, which I do, but I unfortunately did it. So I'm just going to go for a very standard, gateway into cyber core with, warp gate technology coming out, and then the amount of gateways or the robo that I build, how quickly, is just determined on what we scout. So, I mean, B-dub, B-dub. Top, what is that? Top eighter? That's like top tater. And Pina are actually doing a triple wall off sort of. Pina is getting out a double gateways here because he wants to get an expansion. It looks like Top Eater is getting out a gateway here, just standard. And it looks like B-dub is not really building anything yet. But we did see them doing joint wall-offs along these ridges and these choke points. So we do know that they're going to be turtling up. And not just turtling up, but trying to get... oh yeah, we got a forge here, and we got another forge here, so it looks like they're just going to be forging up just so they can fast expand. I don't know why he had so many what were they doing? I don't really even know what his probes were doing, but, I mean, what the I don't even know, folks. That's just weird. So they're going to be cannoning up and doing fast expands. It's very easy to do on this map. It's not something standard you see at a triple Protoss. Usually triple Protoss teams in 3v3, especially higher tier Bronze League players, like two of these were, usually go for just massive 3-player stalker balls, which are kind of hard to deal with unless your Zerg friend and me and Deathwraith did stalkers and Stash did roaches, because roaches can tank triple stalker teams even off of one player fairly well if we're all balled up. But they're not doing that route, but we were kind of preparing for it until we scouted the cannons, and looks like they're just going standard gateways into forges and cannons. So after we saw this, Deathwraith decided that he was just going to fast expand. There really wasn't a point for him to wait off on it, and he's just not even going to worry about troops because they're spending, I mean, cannons are 150 minerals a pop, and each of them are building them in like sort of large quantities. I mean, we got pylons coming out over here along the ridge. So really, it's not that necessary for us to overcommit to early troops. He's going to have a lot of defenses, and we're going to go on a plan that's actually going to get around those defenses and just allow Stash to defend us. Because, I mean, even though Zerg are better offensively, I mean, mutas in this situation are... I mean, mutas are great and they're fast and they're annoying, but we want to hit them two ways with Protoss aggression and allow for the Zerg to just build up his economy and just mass up multiple units. Because once Stash gets multiple bases, if he gets 3 bases and he gets his tech down, it's already over, because Stash will have enough production to literally just, even in the late game, if we get a little screwed, he can just outproduce anyone. So we're going to let him get that overproduction down. I mean, he's got roaches right now. We're really not too worried. He's getting a secondary base later than Deathwraith, but I mean, we're both later than Deathwraith, because Deathwraith scouted and just said, hey, I'm expanding, I see their cannons. And I'm going to get my expansion out too. And I'm actually got a robo out. Now, usually I like to go 4-gate, but there's really no point to do a 4-gate. I mean, they're just sinking all this money in these cannons and their expansions themselves. They haven't even expanded, so basically, they just wasted all of this money to defend these choke points, and they have yet to expand. And the funny thing about this is that since they've spent all this money trying to get these choke points, we've actually gotten our expansions down faster than them. So their defenses kind of are ill-advised, to say the least. I'm just getting out an observer just in case they send DTs or rush like that, because sometimes people like to do a fast expand, and since they're not building many buildings, they like to send some DTs. So I don't want that crap coming into my house. And I'm going to build a warp prism, because my entire plan this match is to do warp prism play and just completely bypass their defenses. Because while these choke points are severe like this, I mean, look at all this freaking space to just get a warp prism in that's undetected. Like all of this, they don't have any detection on any of it. I mean, really, their defense is just full of holes in the background. And yeah, if we have a ground army that we throw into there, we're not going to get through, but that's not the way I'm going. I'm going to be going with some warp prisms in the back. I really don't need anything extreme. I could just go off of some zealots. And that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to transition into DTs, but I'm just going to start with zealots. And Deathwraith is going for voids, because, I mean, nothing is more fun than just having a void mass just come from behind your stupid cannon wall and wreck your day. So because we're just doing these simple things, I mean, Stash is really just playing it safe. He's getting some spine crawls down. He's really just mass econing at this point. He really doesn't need to overcommit to anything, which is really, really nice when you're doing 3v3 for the Zerg, because usually in 3v3, opponents like to hit and cripple the Zerg first. So putting the pressure off Stash is kind of nice. Since we're going to be doing the hits, it's going to allow him to econ up, just to tech up. I mean, he's getting defensive buildings just around, and he's just going to start defending our bases. We really want to make sure that in the end game, as a Zerg, he's able to just overrush them. Because, I mean, things like this can fail. Like, if they spot this and counter this, Warp Prism play will just do me, because I'm not really building up much of an army, because I'm just going to be warping in mass troops at their base. And Voids, I mean, they're a great unit, but, I mean, it's really easy to cock block Voids, especially if all three just start going Stalkers and Archons. I mean, Deathwraith will be in trouble. So really, we need the Zerg Stash to be more adaptable to what the enemy is doing, which is great, because Zerg are better suited for adapting to plans mid-game, because once they get their economy down, they're just freaking ridiculous. Just keep those stupid larvae coming out, and you will just destroy your opponents. So B-Dub is coming out to scout me, I guess. I really don't know. He's setting his little probe in. He's not really seeing anything at my base. I don't know what he's going to see. But I just killed that pylon. I really don't care. I'm getting another Warp Prism out. And I've got my Warp Prism coming in right here. I really just want to start using him for some dastardly things. I was going to attack right here, but Deathwraith said he was going to hit blue, because we decided that we wanted to split our force. I didn't see he was building his voids right here. So because he's building his voids right there, I'm going to hit purple-blue, and he's going to hit blue at the same time. So we're going to divide their armies and really make it hard for them to attack us. And, you know, that's going to really mess them up. So I'm going to go over here and hit purple first, his expansion, and then circle around and help him with blue, putting orange in a particular corner. So just, you know, just along this ridge. I'm just going to use Zealots, because really, like, we haven't seen anything from them. We've scouted out. I mean, I got some observers running around. And really, it's just not that big of a deal to use anything else. I mean, Zealots are just 100 minerals a pop. I can save my gas up for my DTs. And I just start going to town on the probes. The probes leave, but I'm not going to chase them, because I'm just going to destroy this stupid expansion and make it so he can't use it. And while I'm doing this, they're getting ready to push out the units that they have. Deathwraith is just kiting back and forth. I don't know why he's not attacking at this very second. But top Aider, top Eater, I don't even know. They're coming at me with Voids, so I had to get out of there. I didn't see that they were getting Voids too, and it looks like Pina's got his things in. So I got the base down. I do lose everything, but I decided to hit Stalkers over here. My Sacrificial Zealots are gone, and now I've got Stalkers over here to hit this base. And my Warp Prism, unfortunately, is going the wrong goddamn way, and he is just going to die. So my Stalkers aren't in a very good position either. But because I came to just, you know, kite the units that their army is having, Deathwraith can get fully charged Voids up into blue and just start wrecking his day. Now, Top Aider is going to try to hit him, but Death just has too many Voids for any of them to deal with. And especially since, I mean, Stalkers are not, he doesn't have enough Stalkers, and they're coming not in a good concave. Deathwraith is easily just going to outmaneuver them. There's no way they can get any damage really off on him. And because of that, I'm going to be able to get another Warp Prism in, which is exactly what I do. I get my Warp Prism to hit orange. And that's exactly what you want to do when you're hitting this back wall and bypassing defenses. You want to keep hitting them from both sides. I had another Warp Prism just waiting over here at orange after I hit purple, just to make sure that I could cripple them, because Deathwraith already got blue. Like, once his voids arrive, blue is basically done. Like, I've already done enough damage and enough kiting to make sure that those voids get full charge on their voids. And so I'm just going to use my zealots over here. My zealots are just getting some work done. Like, they don't even care. Like, look at them. Just going after it. And his stock isn't running away. I don't even get that. And I got more zealots just coming in. We're just like, we're going to take this base. Trying to get my Warp Prism. I'm like, get the fuck out, Warp Prism. I don't want you to die. And I'm just going to start popping out mass gateways at my base. I got an Immortal here. I don't even really know why I built him. I really didn't need him. But I do have my Twilight Council coming down a little bit late. I just want to get some gateways, more gateways down first, because I really just want to start hitting this base, separating this Stalker Ball. And really, I mean, you could kite me fairly easily with this Stalker Mass, but he's doing a really bad job of it. For some reason, these Zealots are still alive like they shouldn't be. He should be kiting them far better, but he's really not. I'm just running my Zealots back and forth. I'm giving him a hard-ass time, and he's not really enjoying it. So, while he's running away from the single Zealot, apparently, who just died. Apologies, Zealots. You lived a very good life. His sacrifice was not in vain. He is just on the ropes, just trying to kite them. He's not doing a very good job, because I just have them on attack, so... I mean, he's wasting a lot of time just kiting these things. I really am just not caring all too much. And, I mean, B-Dub's got some crap over here that are just chasing me down. I'm like, oh god, no! But he stops chasing me, so I'm like, alright, whatever. I'll get a third at the high grade. Don't even worry about it. And my Zealots are still there. Don't really know why they're still here. But at this point, I'm going to start transitioning into DTs. My Warp Prism is still here. This Zealot's going to be dead. The last Zealot is finally gone, and his main is done, so he's only off of his secondary base. Purple is back up, but Deathwraith is just destroying him. He doesn't have enough Phoenixes to really deal with him, and there's not much he's going to be able to do, so I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to pump out these freaking gateways. So these gateways going down, my Dark Spire is finally up. V-Dub decided he's going to try to expand here, but my Warp Prism, who was just secretly just spying on them, is just like, oh hell no, and my Zealots just goad it down, and my Warp Prism is away. I mean, the amount of damage I'm doing with just my tier 1 unit is just insane, and all this time, Stash is just building up and teching up his army, like he really doesn't even need to worry about anything. He's just basically sitting around, just biding his time, because they're pushing out right now with the Stalker Force, but Stash is going to easily maul them. It's going to be rather hilarious, actually, to watch, because it's just fun to watch stupid Stalker Balls get just ransacked. So, waiting for this ransacking to happen and Stash to move out, I'm just going to just chill here. Deathwraith is going to continue his Void, just onslaught over here at orange. And I'm going to get DTs up here on the high ground because I want to warp them in a fairly safe location. And really, there's not much he's going to be able to do anyway. I mean, there's so much DT here. Detection's all at the front. I'm in the back. They haven't built any cannons back here. And this amount of DTs is just really going to ruin his day. I mean, look at him. Just going to town. Oh yes, for the darkness, the cloaking. And you really want to make sure, this is why cannon walls are not good being done by all 3 players. If one person had just done cannons for the choke points, they would have been fine. The other 2 needed to concentrate on troops, but they just didn't have the troops or scouting to deal with us. So really, it doesn't even, I mean, it's been game over for a while, but I just have way too many DTs at this point. There's just way too many voids. I mean, and Stash just trumped Orange's army. He's finally rolled out, just like, you know what, I've got upgraded roaches, upgraded hydras. Don't even care anymore. There's no need to. And I mean, it looks like B-Dub is trying to pump out a base here, but I mean, I've got this high-grade base down, just waiting to transfer my crap. I'm just concentrating on finishing them off, because really, if my main gets saturated, I can just move them over really late. I don't really care, because I have so much econ already, it doesn't even matter. I can back this up for a while, and there's so many DTs I can just transfer into Archons. That's exactly what I'm going to start doing. So taking out Purple's base while Deathwraith just runs around just trying to scout to see what's going on. Just this Void Mass, and we also got Stash fighting this blue base, and just like, I'm going to take you out. And that's basically going to be the GG. He did bring some Void Rays to try to fight me, but I just started turning them all into Archons and just started to kill these Void Rays. So really, it wasn't, I mean, even though he did have some Voids, which are annoying, I mean, this is what happens when you just commit too much to defenses. I mean, being defensive is good, and these choke points are great because they are pretty tight choke points. But you really should have only had one player one player concentrating on the defenses. I would have put the person in the middle, basically the person in my spot, because they can easily get to both sides, and if they just concentrate on the cannons, then you don't really have to, you allow your other opponents to build up the army. So after you cannon off both sides, you just worry about expanding, and they can get the troops up to defend this entire ridge and things like that, while you transfer into another base, or maybe two, just to help you out, because the cannons are expensive. So if you are cannoning up, I mean, it's just over cannoning is what they did. You just need a couple initial cannons for initial cheese. Because if they're building forces and they're behind the cannons, you'll be fine. Because you'll have a player with forces behind these cannons, you have a player with forces behind these cannons, and you really don't have to just do like full cannons. Like you can just do like, you know, sporadically. Because also you want to watch out for baneling busts, things like that. So it's just poor cannon placement and build on their part, just over econing into it the defenses, because I mean that, as you saw, we had our expansions down before them because they were just econing. Or they're not econing, they were just spending all of their econ into these expensive cannons, which really threw them all through a loop. 150 minerals a pop. I mean, you build 3 cannons, you have already spent more than a nexus, which is really, really bad. So don't really over cannon up. I mean, I know cannons are great, they're detectors, everything like that, but don't overcommit to them. Just having a couple and building on those forces will help you in 3v3 a lot. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, that's going to be the game. I hope to bring a lot more 2v2s with Deathwraith out soon, and some 2v2s with Stash. I'll be looking to bring you a lot of 3v3s with them, because I know like some days that we're not playing Borderlands, they really like to get to, we've been looking at getting together and just rolling out this 3v3 carpet. So really, really enjoying these games so far. I hope you guys enjoyed. See you all next time.